And we are back, and we just finished watching the 1989 masterpiece, Roadhouse, which clocks in at 1 hour and 54 minutes and is rated R in honor of, I guess, Super Bowl Sunday, which is coming up.
Yeah, we got a movie for Philadelphia, and now a movie for...
Missouri.
Yeah.
I don't know that this is Kansas City, but it's
like
on the outside.
The guy says it was on the outskirts of Kansas City. It's in Jasper.
It's called Jasper, right,
Missouri.
Jasper, Missouri.
Home with a Double Deuce. The roughest, toughest bar and all.
Dirtiest bar.
All of the lawless county of Jasper, which has absolutely no police force.
No. Well, because...
the evil Brad Wesley apparently owns them and apparently pays them to just stay at home all day.
Yeah.
Well, he terrorizes the town
with his goons.
With his goons and his monster truck. Literal monster truck.
How the hell did we find this entertaining? It just is.
You know what? This was a good farewell to the 80s because it had all the 80s stuff in it, just poorly written women. Violence,
boobs everywhere.
Oh my God,
boobs du jour.
Tits everywhere.
Cursing,
violence. Gratuitous sex scenes.
Yes, all of that. What a way to send off the decade. Yeah. This was directed by Rowdy Herrington, which is such a crazy name.
Perfect.
And with a screenplay by R. Lance Hill and Hilary Henkin.
A woman was involved?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, women can write baller scripts. Come on. This is...
I thought that the doc would have would be more well written than that. But then again, maybe
it's the 80s.
You're dealing with Swayze. He's got that power.
So my favorite is on IMDb, the description for this movie. It's tagged as an action thriller. I don't know about thriller, but definitely action.
I guess you could think of it as a thriller in that you have a maniac like Ben Gazzara
just being
crazy and doing horrible things.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not really like you're in suspense.
Yeah,
oh my God, what's going to happen next? Yeah,
to me,
people are
going to
get beat up. It's mostly action though.
Yeah. The IMDb description is a tough bouncer is hired to tame a dirty bar.
Yeah, that about sums up. I love how he's basically like a celebrity. Like bouncers are celebrities in this universe.
Yeah, him
where these
and
people
Sam
are just
Elliott.
like, it's like, oh my God, that's Dalton.
Yeah.
Was that a thing in the 80s? I don't remember. Was there
No.
Was there
it
like
was weird though, wasn't it?
Was there like Bouncer Illustrated or something?
Maybe. And then Sam Elliott was Wade Garrett. Wade Garrett.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, with his voice.
I love Sam Elliott.
Oh, he's great, but he was also he was really creepy with the doctor and that diner.
Very inappropriate. He's like basically like, I'm gonna steal you from my bro.
Yeah, that was just a little. And she was she's just like, all right.
I don't think she was into it.
I'm gonna play along with this creepy old dude.
She just seemed to be smiling nervously, and
I don't know. She looked like she was ready to be passed around. I mean, let's be honest. Her choices in men are not the best. Apparently, her first husband was a monster, and then
Ben Gazzara
like Ben Gazzara was obsessed with her, and then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna pick and I guess Dalton is technically a nice guy, but he beats people up for a living and has ripped a man's throat out with his bare hands.
More than once, apparently.
Yeah, he's got a thing for it.
Listen, I mean, it's either him or the other person.
Sam Elliott says, guy's got a gun. You either get killed or you kill him.
Somebody. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's fair. I mean, This movie is just absolute chaos. It's so funny though.
Nuts. You're never bored.
No, you're never bored. I
There's
didn't get sleepy at all, even though I was on the devil couch.
Yeah.
And I've seen this so many times, and yet I still find this entertaining as fuck. I'm just like, yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those so bad it's good type movies.
Agreed. I mean, I still think Patrick Swayze's magnum opus obviously is Point Break, but this is definitely in the trifecta.
I would say this is probably my favorite Patrick Swayze movie.
Really? No.
Yeah.
Point Break. Oh, no. You're absolutely incorrect.
Come on, warrior, philosopher, poet, whatever.
Well, he sort of plays the same character in Point Break.
Hey, maybe the guy in Point Break is like Patrick is Dalton's secret twin brother or something.
Yes.
You never know. There's like a Swayze verse. And
why not?
Yeah. All his characters.
And he's Bodie in that one.
Yeah. You can throw the guy from Black Dog in there and Dirty Dancing and the Ghost. And
what would be my third? Red Dawn?
Oh, yeah. Red Dawn. Well, he wasn't a major character. That was like an ensemble thing.
He was great in The Outsiders as the older brother.
Once again, an ensemble thing.
I guess you have to put Dirty Dancing. That really put him on the map.
He was a lead in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think after that came out, he started just like cranking out movies.
Yeah, as he should.
This was one of them. And this came out along with Steel Dawn. Remember?
Oh my gosh, we have to watch that.
Exploring the wasteland with his sword with all the holes in it.
He's always playing the Zen warrior.
Yeah, the Zen. Oh, there you go. There he is again. Maybe Steel Dawn is Dalton after the nuclear war.
Or maybe Swayze is the first jumper arounder in the multiverse.
There you go. He found he's like Rick. He's opening portals.
What did you think?
It's so stupid. It's so bad. It's so good.
Yeah.
It just does not care. It's just like, we're going to have some fun with this. Probably my only gripe is Keith David is in this movie and he's
underused.
They don't use his voice. I mean, he was in The Thing before this.
Yeah, he was freaking Childs.
He was Childs, for goodness sake. And he is just, he serves like a couple of drinks and he answers a question, I think. Yeah. And that's it.
I think he has 2 lines in the whole damn thing.
He even gets like billing in the opening credits.
Sequences. Yeah, so I didn't understand. Maybe he was in it more.
Maybe there's like an extended director's cut of
we should find
Roadhouse,
that out. Jeez.
where Childs plays a more dominant role.
Yeah, I mean, like the big chubby bouncer gets more screen time than Keith David.
Yeah.
And who's that guy? I've never seen him.
Yeah, a lot of the bouncers get more screen time than Keith David. It's Keith David, man.
Yeah. Even the jerky Ben Gazzara's nephew.
Yeah.
The bartender guy.
Reminded me a little Bill Paxton.
Really? You know who he reminded me of? Like a greased out, like, what's his name? Patty Constantine?
A little. Maybe if that guy and Bill Paxton had a kid and they just like dipped him in motor oil. Like they would.
That guy's hair was just like, my God.
His hair, his teeth. Yeah.
Everything.
He was unpleasant.
Yeah.
And wrestling legend Terry Funk.
I don't even know what that means. Don't explain it to me. But if you want to go into it, you can, I guess. What is his wrestling name?
Terry Funk.
But his name wasn't that in the credits, was it?
Oh, in the credit, I think his character was named Morgan or something. I don't know.
But what was his actor name?
Terry Funk.
He goes by Terry Funk in there?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I didn't know. Is he still alive or is he?
I think he's still alive. He's like, his body is shattered beyond belief by this point.
Yeah.
He was one of those crazy hardcore wrestler guys who it was like, all right, set me on fire. He was like, he was famous for those like he would do those Japanese death matches where like all the ropes are barbed wire and the ring explodes at the end.
We can stop talking about this now. Well, wait, what did you say again was your only gripe about the film? Oh, Keith David.
That Keith David is like listed in it, and you see him for like literally, I think it's like 3 or 4 scenes, and basically all he does is he serves a couple of drinks and he answers a couple of questions.
Yeah, and then when Swayze tells him it's okay to give Ben Gazzara a drink, right? He gives him the nod.
Yeah, he gives him the nod.
Yeah, because none of the guys at the bar at the Double Deuce do anything without first going through Dalton.
It's got to get Dalton's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he has to take
So
her.
then I guess he settles down. I guess he decides to call Missouri
I
home
guess,
and
yeah.
stay with the doc.
I guess he decides, all right, I killed the bad guy. Well, actually, he didn't kill her. Spoiler alert
Oops.
for a film from 1989.
Yeah.
But the whole town gets together and decides it's
Or
time
the
to,
town elders.
the
I
town
guess.
elders decide, okay, Ben Gazzara's had enough fun.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
It's time to kill this dude.
Yeah.
But I guess Dalton redeems himself by resisting the urge to rip his throat out with his bare hands.
I mean, that's the guy you'd want to kill. I mean,
know.
That's the reason why her uncle's hardware store
Her
was.
uncle's hardware store is birds in the flames.
Emmett's
Sam
house
Elliott's
got
dead.
Sam Elliott's dead. Emmett's house got
His house
destroyed.
gets blown up.
The guy who owned the car dealership, his
Yeah.
whole inventory went to shit.
I know. And honestly, if Dalton stuck with his original plan and was just like, all right, fine, I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah.
She would have been like raped in the next scene. It's
Probably.
an 80s movie, of
Yeah.
course.
I mean, he looked insane, Ben Gazzara.
Oh
looked
God,
like
he was I mean, he played his part very
Very
well.
well,
He
yes.
looked like such a scumbag. The best is like after Dalton is like killing everybody in the house, he's just walking through, looking at all his guys dead on the floor, and he just sort of like smiles, and he's like. It's almost like his expression is like, well, not bad, Dalton.
Yeah.
You know, and then he just walks upstairs.
Either that or it sucks to be you, whoever you are on the floor.
Yeah. All these broken bodies, people, even his own nephew. He just looks over, his nephew's dead. All right.
Oh, well.
I guess I'll have to get some more boys.
Yeah, obviously, this is not going to change your life.
No. This is not going to change your life. This will not make you a better person.
Yes. Go watch Paddington 2 for that.
Go watch Paddington 2 for that.
But this is hella
if you really want to immerse yourself in the 80s,
yes,
80s violent action, boobs everywhere.
Yeah.
So many boobs.
Yes, everywhere.
So many boobs.
Yeah.
Just just no reason for him either. It's just like, all right, I get dance. And the girl dances and suddenly she's nude.
Yeah.
And she wasn't really doing a good job of covering her boobs either. She's like got her arms over her chest like she's trying to be a little bit modest there at the end. And it's just, why are you even bothering?
2 questions. So, could this movie be made today? It would be a completely different movie.
I mean, from what I understand, it is going to be remade in this day with Jake Gyllenhaal playing Dalton.
I mean, of all the films to pluck from 1980 to 1989, would Roadhouse have ever entered your mind?
No, because it's a masterpiece. It's perfect. You're not gonna
improve on this?
I mean, you're not gonna replicate that. Just
insanity.
Yeah, it's like you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's impossible because it's an absolute product of its time.
Yes.
It's like when they try to like redo the 80s like Schwarzenegger action movie type movies. It never really works out. They're always trying to. It's like they're afraid to go for
even the Schwarzenegger, like even RoboCop or
It's like you're trying to go.
Total Recall.
They remade Total Recall. They remade RoboCop, and it's like, okay, this was an 80s R movie. They went insane with like blood squibs and ridiculous special effects and boobs and all of it. I mean, women are just the most poorly written things.
Yeah.
They're either a nag or they're just like, ooh, you're the manliest, and then it's like sex scene 2 minutes later, shirt disappears, and then that's it.
Yeah, yeah. And or
something, or God forbid, they're actually helpful, and then at the end, for some reason, they're just like, oh, we're in love now, like Commando. It was like,
oh yeah,
where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could do that now in a.
Speaking of which, that was on this weekend. I watched it.
It's
of
always
course,
on somewhere. I don't think you could do that now without it being a comedy. Because back then, that's the thing. This was not played as a comedy.
No.
This was serious. This is deadly serious. Yes. Dalton wasn't like a ridiculous character. Dalton was I'm not even like joking, philosopher warrior.
Yeah.
He literally has a degree in philosophy.
Yeah, yeah.
As he's showing the doc his medical chart where he has like knife wounds and gunshot wounds, and he's just like, pain isn't real or something like that.
Yeah. Because she's gonna give him like Novocaine.
Yeah,
or
she's
something.
like, I'll give you a shot to numb the pain, and he's like, no. I'm gonna embrace it or whatever the hell, because he's just so goddamn zen.
Yeah.
He's got it all figured
out. And I agree with you about the snapshot of the time, from the fashions to especially the hairdos.
Oh my God!
You and I were like, "What is going on here?"
I mean, Dalton's a lot of budget
mullet.
went to Dalton's mullet.
Yeah, everyone
because
had a mullet.
None of the budget went to the doc's hairstylist.
No.
It looked like her hair looked like it was done by maybe the stylist's daughter or something like that. Like, I can use the hair dryer. She had like fins almost coming out of the side of her head.
Yeah, it was wild,
ridiculous.
But Patrick Swayze's hair was on point.
Patrick Swayze's hair was like sculpted by gods.
Yeah.
And even Sam Elliott's rugged
crazy mane,
rugged salt and pepper mane with his drawl. Miho.
So my other takeaway from this film was that apparently men went commando a lot.
Oh no, there wasn't a stitch of underwear in that movie.
No.
Maybe the girls wore underwear sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes, right. When she was doing the striptease, the blondes, she had on pants.
Yeah, there was some G strings going on, but men, it was like no underwear. That ridiculous scene where Sam Elliott is just like, look at my scar. It's like right by my cock.
He's just flashing his pubes.
He just tears his pants down, and he's just like, look at it. And the doctor's just like, okay.
This movie's wild. It's so wild. Jesus. You know what? Now that I think about it, I can see why this is being remade. But my question is, like, you would have to be this insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would have to be as crazy as this film in order to be interesting. Because I can't imagine playing this straight.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, it would have to be some, like, over-the-top violence and just...
Yeah, they would have to make it very brutal to overcompensate for the fact that it's
why the hell is this being remade?
Yeah, why the hell is this being remade? I don't know.
I mean, they could even like nix all the sex stuff, but as long as the violence is like raid level, I think that this could work.
Yeah.
I hope it is.
Just the spectacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they'll set it in the 80s or it'll be like a modern telling of...
I'll be surprised. I'll probably end up seeing it. I like Jake Gyllenhaal if he's still involved.
Yeah.
For all you know, it could have just, I mean, movie studios seem to have all lost their minds and are selling everything before they're, or abandoning things before they even get off the ground. But if it gets made, hell, I'll watch it.
I mean, if it hits cable,
like Jake
I'll
Gyllenhaal.
watch it. Yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out of Roadhouse.
And Jake's a good actor, so.
Yeah, if they up the violence.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
who
need
knows,
the sex.
Maybe it'll be a comedy.
That would be interesting. But see, I don't think that would work with this character because it like you said, it's the Zen warrior. So it has to be rooted in some kind of seriousness where he's kind of like imparting wisdom.
Yeah. I can't believe the brutality I must inflict upon the patrons of this bar.
Or when he's talking to the doc and he's basically telling her, what was it? Like, Wesley came for me and he's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, he's gonna realize that he messed with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want to know you no more. And I'm like, what? I mean, like, seriously, it would have been him or that other guy. Like, would she have preferred if the other guy killed Dalton?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, dude, like, take a pill.
Yeah, I mean, he's telling Dalton while he's fighting him, like, rape guys like you in prison.
Oh, my God. I think you and I both busted out laughing when he said that.
That is some great fight dialogue, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I mean...
Could hear that in the next Marvel movie.
I mean, like, we're all 80s movies written by 8th graders because, I mean, like, who writes them?
Is either 8th graders or a giant bag of cocaine. Seriously, most films from this era, there should be a writer's credit that just says giant bag of cocaine. Seriously, that is a memoir I want to read.
Yes. Yes.
Life and Times of the Giant Bag of Cocaine that wrote 90% of the 80s movies we watched.
What else? What else were we watching recently?
What?
And we were like, what was I watching recently? And the same thing. It was like, who wrote this? Like a 7th grader? Oh, man. Weren't you and I watching something? And I turned to you and I was like, this is like a 7th grade boy. This script.
That sounds familiar, but I can't remember what it was.
You weren't watching Commando with me because that was early Sunday morning, I think.
No, I mean, Commando could have been written by a
7th grader,
but Commando was fun.
Commando is fun.
It had that was like... Honestly,
that's also another...
That felt like the birth of all the crazy one-line... Like, the action hero had to have the crazy one-liners.
Yeah.
Commando is chock full
of them, yeah.
I
think they specifically write that for Schwarzenegger, though, right? I mean, I felt like...
No, but I think Commando was, like, the one that really cemented that as far as... Because you would have, like, action movies with heroes and stuff... Like Chuck Norris and so it's just like Rambo wasn't cracking wise and whoever the hell Chuck Norris was in those missing in action movies wasn't popping jokes before he blew up the bad guy with just obscene violence.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger, it was always just he'd kill somebody and he'd say something or he'd say something as he was killing him.
Yeah.
And I feel like Commando is where it began. I mean, you could possibly say it began a bit with Terminator.
Yeah,
because he did have a couple of one-liners,
and those are iconic.
It wasn't like he was saying it as he was killing people. It was just, I'll be back, and then he just came back.
Yeah, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
In Commando, he was just cracking wise. Like, he killed that guy on the plane, and then he tells the stewardess, "Don't bother my friend. He's dead tired."
Yes. yes. And you know what's amazing?
Like,
we have seen... did you see that in the theater? I saw that in the theater.
Commando?
Yeah.
But I saw that. I saw it in the theater.
But I also saw that like on Channel 11.
Yeah.
And it's like that. It's so funny that you said that line because it's like, I will, even in my senility, remember that line. Because it's like, it's just so out of control.
Yeah. I mean, he is desperate to rescue his daughter, yet he has the time to just bust out with some sort of witty line that nobody's going to... Like, when he's doing it, he's probably, like, chortling to himself as he's walking past the stewardess.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that was a good one. I gotta write that
down. Amazing. But getting back to Roadhouse. 1 to 10.
I would give this like a 7.
7?
It's
This is an 8. Come on. This
all
is
right,
an 8 or higher.
I'll give it an 8.
Yeah. I too would give it an 8. This is from where it starts to where it ends. It is absolute mayhem.
Yeah.
It's fun. Absolutely. This is not for children. It is rated R.
It's not for children. It's not for squeamish people.
It's not for squeamish people.
If you're offended by basically anything from the 80s,
stay away from this.
You might want to stay away from it. I know, like, younger people, I'm not going to go on some generational rant about Gen Yers or whatever the hell they are now. I don't even know.
If you're sensitive to certain things, then stay away from this.
If harsh language and brutality and boobs, and poorly written women bother you.
Yeah, skip this.
You might want to...
Feel free to
skip this or just man up.
Well, I think this movie is geared towards us, the people that grew up with it, that have an affinity for Patrick Swayze and that time in history. So I do. And
honestly,
like
it really is like one of those it's so bad it's good movies. So even if you don't think it's like Citizen Kane or anything,
it is not.
It is not. But it's just ridiculous fun.
Yeah, it's hella entertaining.
Yeah, just Mystery Science Theater. This thing.
Yeah,
because there is so much. that you could comment on while you watch it.
This is an hour and 54 minutes, and it did not feel like it. I thought this was like an hour and a half movie. Like when I looked at the IMDb page, I was like, really? This is 2 hours?
And I've seen it many, and it still blows by.
Yeah. And we've seen it on TV with like, commercials.
Yeah, it's like scene after
really
scene.
2 hours?
Just something is always happening.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it still holds up.
Yeah.
I mean, for a movie from 1989.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a Swayze classic.
It is a Swayze classic. And I think I turned to you at one point and was like, I keep thinking about the Chippendales skit from SNL with him. And
his mullet was very similar to the Chippendale sketch.
I mean, it's a little bit more subdued in Roadhouse.
It's a bit subdued in Roadhouse,
yeah.
But
still.
It's like the prototype of that mullet.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell?
Less evolved form.
What the hell were we all thinking back then with that hair and those clothes?
I did not subscribe to the mullet. I always had the short hair. If anything, I look like freaking Mr. Spock.
Well, better Spock than whatever the hell that was.
My sister would ridicule me over that.
God. I mean, everybody was sporting a mullet. Everybody.
Oh, the cool kids, yeah. Mullets and like those terry cloth wristbands.
Oh my God, that was big. That was big. And you didn't even have to be athletic to wear those.
Oh, you have your little scrawny pencil arms and you got your terry cloth wristbands and possibly the terry cloth headband.
Yes, to match.
Along with a tank top to show off your awesome physique.
Yes. Your
awesome 11-year-old physique.
Yeah, really top notch, start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I am with you. I'm shocked that a woman had something to do with the screenplay because
that really, was stunning to me.
It really does feel like it was written by a seventh grade boy.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like some young kid who just figured out it feels good when you touch yourself down there wrote this.
All right, so 8-8. Where do we see this again? Netflix, right? Netflix. It is available on Netflix, but I think also, what did they say on IMDb? AMC Plus, if you're so inclined, and also buy it and rent on Amazon Prime. Again, if you have not seen it or if you want to revisit it and go down memory lane, definitely check out 1989's Roadhouse, rated R, with a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes, with the late, great Patrick Swayze, Kelly Lynch as Doc, Sam Elliott as Wade Garrett, Ben Gazzara as the reprehensible Brad Wesley. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's one for the books. For sure. Yeah.
And Keith David.
Completely underused. Completely underused. Yeah, what a shame.
Just for
it's actually kind of a long movie for 89, right? An hour and 54 minutes. Like most movies, I felt like in the 80s clocked at either like
an hour
85 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, 90 minutes 90 was like
tops.
long.
Yeah.
Especially for a film like this.
Yeah.
I guess they wanted to get the philosophy of the Zen brilliance.
Well, there's that scene
Dalton.
where he's doing his
morning Tai Chi. He's doing his morning Tai Chi. There's a lot of scenes of Swayze shirtless and sweating.
Yes.
This was definitely made for ladies to be like, ooh,
Swayze. I mean, he was the king for a while there, wasn't he?
Well, like I said, I believe this was right after Dirty Dancing, so it was just sort of like, all right, we got to show this dude's body off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like jacked muscle boy, but he's in good shape.
He's a classically trained dancer, I believe.
And he loves smoking. Oh my god.
That you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because when we were watching the film, I think at one point you were like, does dude ever not have a cigarette in his mouth?
I would say of the almost 2 hours of runtime, he had a cigarette in his mouth for about maybe, I don't know, an hour and 50 minutes of it.
At least.
There were some brief moments between cigarettes when he was throwing the old one away.
Yeah. And I guess when he's having sex with Kelly Lynch.
Yeah, I think he took a break for a couple of minutes there.
Yeah.
And when he was fighting.
Yes. So Agree. Like, so I'm looking at his IMDb page. He was in a ton of shit. I mean, like, crazy. Well, okay, so my introduction to Swayze was 83's The Outsider, right? The Outsiders, sorry. And then he was in a bunch of stuff. I remember the North and South miniseries that aired on Channel 7. Dirty Dancing, 1987. And apparently Steel Dawn came out in 87 as well.
Steel Dawn.
88, Tiger Warsaw. That sounds vaguely familiar. And then 89, saw him do Roadhouse. But then I guess his big one, Dirty Dancing definitely put him on the map, but I think the other juggernaut was 1990's Ghost. Yes, absolutely. And
Ghost was a monster hit, yeah.
Monster. Like, yeah. And then 91 saw him do Point Break. And I guess he was in...
Next of Kin?
That was before. That was in 89.
Oh.
So the same year that he did Roadhouse, he did Next of Kin. I can't believe you remember that.
I only remember I saw a trailer for it when I was watching something else. I've never actually seen Next Kid. But yeah, there was that. There was Black Dog.
He played uncredited person or himself, maybe, I don't know, in Robert Altman's The Player from 92. I don't know what these other ones was, but I saw Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for Everything. Love Julie Newmar from 95. Black Dog is 98.
I think that was like right before he died, isn't it?
No, he died in like the 2000s. We saw him in Donnie Darko. 2001.
Oh, right. Yeah, he
like
was that weird teacher. Yeah.
No, he was actually he was a good teacher. It was just him and who was the other? Drew Barrymore, right? She was the other teacher, and Jake Gyllenhaal.
I thought he was the teacher that they found all the secret stuff in. Like they found like his secret little weird porn room or whatever.
I don't think it was Swayze. I thought Swayze and Drew Barrymore were like the cool teachers.
I thought Drew Barrymore was the cool teacher, but I thought he was like the weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. It's been. We saw Donnie Darko in the theater, and I've never seen it since.
Yeah, we should probably revisit that. I know that I enjoyed that.
Yeah, so that was Mayor Koch.
So all that with Mayor, and then the following week or the week before we had seen Iron Monkey. With Mayor Koch
as well.
Yeah. I'm guessing he died in 2009, September 14th, 2009, at the age of 57. Sad. That's sad. I enjoyed him a lot. I thought he was a ton of fun. I loved him in The Outsiders. I think that was my first exposure to the Swayze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. And that Chippendales skit from SNL was just top tier entertainment. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Kevin Nealon, who I didn't care for, but Farley. He was actually excellent.
Yeah, it was probably the only good thing I've ever seen Kevin Nealon in.
Yeah, I too am not a fan of Kevin Nealon.
Anyway, let's wrap this one up.
Yes, let's wrap this up. Run, don't walk, and go check out Roadhouse, currently on Netflix. And that's it from us, and we will bid you all a
good night.
Good night.